I could, maybe I should.
Yes.
But you know, the thing about it is, cosplayers are so good at what they do that if you don't do it right, you feel like a failure. And then I actually voice a character, so I can do like an extra big failure. Although last year at Comic-Con, I did a few panels with May Whitman who played guitar, and she dressed up every day. Like different things. But she's like a cute chick, so it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, you're a cute girl and you dress up and you look cute. If I wore something and it's bad, I might look crazy. But she convinced me that maybe next year we'll, I'll do some cosplaying. But I'll do some. I might do some Homestuck stuff like first, because there's some stuff in Homestuck that I might do some cosplay with some elements. That's coming. I think that's coming soon. I'm setting up a shoot right now. Can someone else have a question? Yes. Come to the microphone so we're gonna. Can you come to the microphone? Please? Yeah.
I just wanted to know what roles have you got planned for the future?
What roles do I have planned for the future? There's a few things that I've done already that are coming out soon. Some cartoons. There's this DC film where I play this superhero that's coming out, I think this year. And then there's some more stuff with Avatar. Also, I also have a film company called Kinetic Films, and we shoot movies out of Hawaii. So we've shot 3 films. I've co-wrote 2 of them. The first one that just came out over the holidays is a film called Hang Loose. You guys watch YouTube? There's this kid named Kev Jumba. Anyone know who Kev Jumba is? Yeah? So our first film is me and Kev Jumba. We shot it in Hawaii, and actually you can download it right now on iTunes, and it's called Hang Loose. So that film's out right now, as well as another film coming out with Kevin and Justin Chong coming out soon called Man Up that we produce. So there's like a lot of stuff I'm doing in front of the camera, on microphone, and also behind the camera and writing. I'm actually gonna be, as soon as I leave here tomorrow, I'm flying to LA to do a play I wrote called Midnight Makeout Session. And so it's just, as an artist, you just kind of stay in motion, just trying to stay creative. But there's a lot of things up in the air going on this year. Questions? I see dwarves in the house. Yeah. Yeah, the question is, in terms of character development, do we have any influence on how the characters develop, especially in terms of like Zuko? I don't know how much direct influence we have, but talking to Brian and Mike, the creators of Avatar, they were like, our performances did kind of influence some of the things, maybe in some small way, as they were creating, because they didn't have the whole storyline written out. Their things changed as they went along. And so I think definitely that's one of the good things of being an actor is your acting and what you bring to a storyline can help definitely influence how a story is coming out. You see it a lot of times in TV shows, whatnot, that go many years, and more popular characters, storylines get stronger because the audience wants to see more of that character. And that's directly due a lot of times to the actors' performances, which is great. Yes? Say again? What is the most difficult part of being a voice actor? Thank you. It's a pretty easy job. All in all, the most difficult part probably is, not losing your voice, especially in a lot of these action shows like how Avatar is, or a lot of these action video games. There's a lot of yelling and whatnot. And if you lose your voice, of course you can't work. But as far as the most difficult part of being a voice actor is probably, and I've been fortunate to work as much as I do, is just trying to stay employed. There's only a certain amount of shows going on, and the ones that work a lot are lucky. It's like Hollywood, there's like so many actors, but the actors that are actually able to work and make a good living at it, that's the most difficult part for actors to kind of keep being employed. And if you're lucky fortunate to, be able to do that, you just gotta be thankful, I guess. More questions? Yes. Yes. Yeah, I did something for that video game, and I'm not 100% sure what I did. This is what happens sometimes. A lot of times you're doing a lot of work. So like, especially video games, they'll come in and they'll go in and they'll do all this stuff. I've done like a bunch of video games, and half the time I don't even know what I'm doing. You walk into a studio, they give you like 100 lines to do, and then you do them, and then you're yelling, and then you're pretending like you're fighting by yourself, then you're pretending like you're getting stabbed or shot. Like, and this is how it goes too, like this is like a big stab. So you're like, medium stab. Like in a small, like the most weird thing, so you're doing this a few days a week, and then later on I was like, well, that was for that video game. You're like, what? But that, I did, I believe, I don't remember. I do remember doing something for it, but I can't recall if it was a certain character or maybe two different characters. I get confused. But I heard it's a good game. I haven't never played it. Are you guys gamers here? Do you guys play a lot of games? What games do you guys play? Like, what's big?
Battlefield.
What? What is that? Like, do you guys play League of Legends? Yes? Minecraft? Yeah, I think we're doing voices for things like that is cool. I'm actually producing a new game called Project Lotus with some cats in Los Angeles where it's going to be. I'm like also going into that world, producing lines. I'm going to do voice one of the characters. So that's coming out in a year. It takes a while to make a video game. But I'm definitely interested in that realm too. It's a big audience. It's pretty exciting. It's a little bit different than producing a movie or a television show, for sure. More questions? Any more questions? Anybody? Yes. The question is, do I watch any of the cartoons I voice for? I actually do, but ironically not for like a long time. Because you did it, and so it's weird. Especially like Avatar, I didn't watch Avatar episodes really until probably like 3-4 years after they came out. And it's kind of strange to like hear that, but for a lot of us that did it, we like lived the whole story by reading it. And what's crazy from like my point of view is, because I didn't see a lot of art, I just know the stories from being in the room with the other actors listening, just playing the characters out, And so later on, like I was watching certain episodes for the first time like 2 years ago, like during Avatar like festival on Nickelodeon, and I'm like live blogging, like, wow, this is crazy, And then it's your voice coming out of the TV, which is kind of weird too. So I watch them like years later, and they have like a different kind of feeling to you because as an actor, the story's great. Like an audience member, you kind of take all that in. But because you did it, you remember exactly what you were doing that day, and the people you were working with. It also makes it like kind of a scrapbook of your life, of things you've done. Like especially movies. If I watch movies I did, like if it's Take the Lead or Hook or whatnot, people like say, I love this movie, I love that scene. And then I watch the scene, and I just remember like on the set that day, what me and that actor were doing, or that restaurant we used to go to that was like right around the corner from that place. So it becomes like this photo album. These movies become like a photo album of your past, of you and your friends. So it's kind of a little bit different that way. Oh, any more questions? Yes?
Hey, hi. If they made Adrian Hussey was making his Homestuck video game and he wanted voice
voice acting for it. Would you want to voice act them in?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yes, definitely. He said his question is Andrew Hussey. He is making this video game. And so would I voice one of the characters? I should hope so. I hope I can voice Rufio. I would think, if he can afford me. Yeah, Homestuck is one of those things that I kind of fell into, and now I'm a part of this fandom, which is cool. And if I can be a part of the video game, that'd be great. I hope so. I'd text Hussey and be like, yo man, can't you hook a brother up with like a gig or what? But I hope so. I hope so. Any other questions? Yes. Come back to the microphone.
I'm just wondering, how much fun did you have playing Jake Long?
How much fun did I have playing Jake Long? A lot of fun, really. It was actually my first series, and Jake Long's a show on Disney. The great thing about Jake Long was, like, it's this Asian show, right? It was like Disney's first Asian show. And so they hired me, like, let's get Dante Basco. And what the funny thing is, you know, I don't particularly sound Asian. You know, I'm American, and I'm very hip-hop, right? I grew up with hip-hop generation, so I always, if you listen to Jake Long, he's super ghetto. Like, this cat is super ghetto. But because, especially at that time in my life and what I was doing, it's like, I come from that, right? The funny thing, also I had a great time doing it, because they would let me improv and say like, yo, like, everything was like, yo, this is whack, like anything, right? Half the time I would be saying stuff, and I know Disney has no idea what we're saying, which is cool. But then, here's a quick story. So I'm like, I'm doing this big press tour when we first came out, and the head of Disney's there, and I'm talking to the foreign press, right? They're all there, it's a room full of like all these reporters from around the world. And I'm like, yo, I'm so happy that Disney has a hip-hop cartoon, you know? And I'm happy to be a part of this hip-hop cartoon. And the president of Disney comes to the microphone like, I didn't even know we had a hip-hop cartoon. And I'm like, yo man, the American Dragon is hip-hop. And so I felt like it was so much fun. I got to add a lot of that to it, and then I started doing Avatar, which is not hip hop. Actually, someone on YouTube like changed the lines around from like Zuko and Jake Long, and then it was like Zuko saying like, "Yo man, doing all hip hop stuff." And that was kind of funny. And so I had a great time doing American Dragon. I still love that show. How do you guys think? It's kind of weird, like, he's a New Zealanders, like, American Dragon, and America's like, oh, it's just an American Dragon. And I guess to New Zealanders, it was, like, really American. And when I was in Australia, there was an Australian dragon in one of the episodes. And it was this American kid, I remember, doing a bad Australian accent as the Australian dragon. It's funny. Just a side